This might be very general, but because I know this is that your study looks at neoplastic polyps.
Right.
What's the plastic?
Right. So our study, we're looking at pre-neoplastic polyps. So neoplasia is like another term for cancer, and another term for cancer. So pre-neoplastic would mean polyps before they become cancerous. So that has to do with this pathway, right? So like you go from these cells that are dysplastic to polyps, and just because you have a polyp doesn't necessarily mean that it's cancerous. Only 5% of all polyps will become cancerous.
Okay.
And so that means that the likelihood is, not so great. It's 5%, but nobody understands what drives that number. And so that's one question that we had, and we're hoping to try to answer is is there an environment in the gut that promotes that progression from adenoma now, which is a polyp, to carcinoma, which is a full-blown cancer. And so everybody, or a lot of the groups out there have been studying the cancer side of things, because those patients, they've progressed and they're sick, and they somehow the polyps have been missed, and so that's progressed. But really, the important place to look is at that polyp time point, because this is the deciding factor of, like, you're here at two pathways. You're going to go to cancer if you're this 5%, or you're not going to go to cancer. And so where in this environment is there something that's kind of influencing that? So we wanted to study the microbiome of these polyps and associated with the polyps, to see if there was some signature that we could find that would maybe give us a hint as to sort of if these polyps would become cancerous or not. Now, a huge caveat to that is we take the polyps out. So we're studying the polyps. So we won't know. It's hard to tell, like, if this polyp would have gone to cancer or not. So really, we wanted to just get in there and start, like, culturing the bacteria out of these polyps and sort of see who's there, and if we could differentiate, a healthy person's colon from a person with a polyp based upon just the microbiome that we have obtained. So that's how the project started, and then it kind of evolved out of that. So I can talk about that.